Hello everyone, I am Idona John Baptist with the Channel 5 News in the headlines. Government commits to facilitating the resumption of operations at Ross University. Increased flights and visitors into Dominica with the introduction of Inter-Caribbean Airways. And Whitchurch IGA supermarket reopens just under a year after Hurricane Maria. The details of the news after this.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, galvanized and fenced pipe. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Welcome back. First up, despite speculation regarding Ross University pulling out of Dominica, the word on government side is that the medical school has gotten reassurance that systems are being put in place to ensure its return. Channel 5 News understands discussions among Ross University's management and staff this week addressed the status of the Dominica campus to resume classes. Information from that meeting caused some anxiety in the public sphere, leading to questions about the university's future in Dominica. Edward Lambert is chairman of a government committee appointed to liaise with the university on matters relating to their recommencement. He says government has been addressing the university's concerns stemming out of the impact of Hurricane Maria.
Government continues to be in discussion with Ross, on matters relating to their return to the Dominica campus. And Ross themselves are continuing with repairs to their damaged infrastructure on the campus. Right? And government has written to Ross, assuring them and reassuring them that a number of the issues that were earlier of concern to them, such as the return of telecommunication services, the restoration of the electricity services, and the general recommencement of business activity in the country. All of those matters, have virtually returned to normalcy. And in the areas of operation of Ross, particularly in the Picard area and environs, all the utilities, water, electricity, telephone, telecommunications, those services, have been restored to pre-Maria levels, and in some cases have been upgraded.
More than 1,400 Ross students, faculty and staff will continue the remainder of the year operating from a campus belonging to Lincoln Memorial University in Knoxville, Tennessee. When Channel 5 News spoke to Parliamentary Representative for Portsmouth Ian Douglas in March, he said the government was looking at a January 2019 start date for the medical school's return. Lambert says the school is expected to be granted advanced reaccreditation to prepare for its resumption on island.
And as far as I am aware that there is the medical board will be traveling to the Miramar campus of Ross University as part of the process for the ongoing accreditation of Ross, which comes to an end in December of this year. But the board is being proactive by advancing, reassurance of the accreditation by having an early visit to the campus for the accreditation. These are the facts that I know.
Do we have any indication to suggest that Ross has certain reservations with Dominica?
Not that I am aware of. No reservation.
The impact of Hurricane Maria on Ross University's buildings and subsequent evacuation of students and faculty resulted in 162 employees of the Picard campus being made redundant. Ross University was founded as the University of Dominica on June 23, 1978. when the government of Dominica granted a charter for the establishment of a health sciences university. The charter was granted after nearly a year of discussion between government and university officials about purpose, organization, and operation of the institution. It was agreed that the government would, through its good offices, encourage and assist the university in developing its facilities and programs. The university, in turn, would do its utmost to assist Dominica in its economic development and in expansion and improvement of its health services. DeVry Incorporated acquired the school in May 2003. Ross University is celebrating its 40th anniversary. The newest airline to serve Dominica, Inter-Caribbean Airways, has increased flights into the island in under 1 month. CEO of Discover Dominica Authority, Colin Piper, said the increase from 3 to 5 weekly inter-Caribbean flights is due to the success of the Tortola, Dominica, St. Lucia route.
On March 22nd of this year, we started the service with Inter-Caribbean. That's an airline now coming to Dominica, initially 3 times weekly from Tortola in the late afternoon, and then moving on to St. Lucia. The aircraft would overnight in St. Lucia, and then the following morning, about 9:30, it would come into Dominica. So you have now the availability for onward connections through Tortola and also St. Lucia. Since March and beginning in June, Inter-Caribbean has increased the frequency from 3 times weekly to 5 times weekly because the flight is performing well.
The Turks and Caicos-based airline has also committed to adding on more flights to Dominica for the independent season, something which Piper says tourism authorities are excited about.
And it is their intention in October, November to increase possibly to 7 times weekly, which is good. There are onward connections from Tortola to the USVI, and to the Northern Caribbean, and also to San Juan, which is another connecting point into the U.S. And as you know, St. Lucia has Hewanora. Inter-Caribbean goes into George Charles, but there would be the possibility to transfer to Hewanora and go onward from there.
10 months and 1 day after Hurricane Maria wreaked havoc on the country, one of the leading supermarkets has finally reopened its doors to the public. Andrea Louis has that story.
Whitchurch IGA Supercenter was among those severely damaged by the Category 5 storm and subsequently heavily looted by individuals. The company had initially planned to open in the first quarter of 2018 but suffered some setbacks. The supermarket officially opened its doors to the public on Thursday, 19th July. Jason Whitchurch Ed, Operations Director of HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited, says a lot of money, effort and energy went into bringing the supermarket up to par.
It wasn't easy in the days following Maria, first to clean up the property, then secure it, and then start putting plans into place. And because of the time of year and what was going on in Dominica, we really wanted it to be open in the first quarter of 2018, but it just wasn't possible. Equipment takes a long time once you place the order, installation takes a long time. So we decided that when it was ready, we would open. And you're actually never fully ready, but yesterday we were 95% there. And having practice runs all through the day with the staff and so on. And at 5:05 yesterday afternoon, I said, let's open. And we did.
Due to the impact of the storm and looters on the store, all supermarket staff had to be let go. Whitchurch Ed is happy to report that today, more than 50% of staff has been rehired.
One of the saddest things as a consequence of Maria is that we had to lay off everybody in the supermarket and other parts, and progressively rehire as we went along based on need. So fortunately, I would say 60 to 65% of the staff who were with us from the beginning have been hired back. The other 35% chose retirement, and unfortunately there were some redundancies that we had to do. But by and large, you would recognize the same friendly faces that you've been accustomed to over the years. We actually are hiring in the different departments, not large quantities, but we are soliciting applications for different positions.
Marketing supervisor for Whitchurch IGA Supercenter, Michelle Joseph, says the goal is to offer a new and enhanced shopping experience to customers.
The core values have remained, so you can expect best prices, good quality in both terms of the products and the service, and an overall a great ambience to shop. The feedback is very positive. We are accepting, both negative and positive, because at the end of the day, we want to please the customer. We want to do what makes them happy, what enhances their shopping experience. But as of now, the feedback has been good.
A consultant from Trinidad was also brought in to help the IGA Supercenter's new look and says the store is an improvement on what existed before Hurricane Maria.
I saw some pictures and videos of what took place. I've reached quite far thus far. One is the ambience, the variety, the offerings, and it's well maintained with the loyalty to customers. And basically, I came to provide training, category management, futuristic displays, reorienting the store to be more futuristic. Thus far, we were met with lovely reviews, very pleasant, lovely recommendations thus far from the customers.
Whitchurch Supermarket has been in existence for over 40 years and became an IGA store in 1996. This is the fourth rebranding of the Whitchurch IGA Supercenter. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
Motorists are already seeing improvements in road conditions as a result of the signing of a $4 million contract. Prime Minister Skerrit says a road resurfacing project from Pokase to Sultan should be completed soon, and to date there has only been one setback with the project.
On this roadway from the Pokase junction, roundabout, Pokase, to the junction going up to Sultan, the government has signed a contract for the complete resurfacing and rehabilitation of the section of the road to the tune of close to about $4 million. So that contract has been signed. You would have seen some preparatory work taking place. The challenge we have is that we have only one company in Dominica who is doing asphalting, and we have to wait for when that person is available to do those roads. So, but the contract has been signed, and there are no potholes now because the preparatory work has been done on that section of the road. And we hope in the next few weeks we can have this road completely resurfaced.
As regards roadworks in the Layu Valley area, government contracted a loan from the Caribbean Development Bank to start improving the road network there. But due to the recent weather systems, these designs have had to be assessed and improved.
Some reviewing of the design that needs to be done. And once that is returned, we will move to the next phase of tendering and commencement of the construction of the roads. We will have to borrow more money because with the passage of Hurricane Maria, it has certainly increased the scope and in fact complexity of these works. So there we'll have to contract additional sums. You're talking about to fix the Layu Valley area from the Layu Bridge to this place and just beyond the section going to Layu Park. The state will need to provision $91 million.
Dominica was represented at a business retreat in Martinique earlier this month, which brought together 15 OECS small and medium-sized enterprises together with the Martinique counterparts.
The purpose of the retreat was to enhance trade and investment opportunities between Martinique and the rest of the OECS. The event was also expected to benefit participating SMEs from Dominica and other countries in the region in 5 main subsectors, namely manufacturing, agro-processing, information and communication technology, music, fashion and green industries. This effort was part of the recently established Trade Enhancement for the Eastern Caribbean Program, TICA. The TICA program is a joint initiative between the Martinique Chamber of Commerce, the OECS Commission, and the Caribbean Export Development Agency. The 3-day exercise, which officially launched activities for the 2-year TICA program, served as a team-building exercise for the 30 SMEs selected for support under the program.
Coming up on the Channel 5 News, the Minister for Climate Resilience takes up new responsibilities at CARICOM level. That and more when we return.
M&J Covering is the producer of designed galvanized and galvalume in Dominica. They design to your specifications, color and length, 4 styles of galvanized and galvalume pre-painted roofing sheets as requested, and supply all your galvalume accessories. M&J Covering helps you control spending and reduce waste. At M&J Covering, they are also equipped to build your roof to precise standards anywhere on island. So come to M&J Covering at 1 Mile in Portsmouth or call 445-5001 275-5003 today.
Thanks for staying with us. Dominica's Minister for the Environment, Joseph Isaac, has been appointed Deputy Chairman of the CARICOM Council of Ministers responsible for disaster management.
Isaac, whose full portfolio reads the environment, climate resilience, disaster management, and urban renewal, had his appointment as deputy chairman approved during his participation at the 8th meeting of the Council of Ministers of the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, CIDEMA, in Montego Bay, Jamaica, earlier this month. According to a press release from the Office of the Prime Minister, Isaac recalled that the appointment is further justification that he made the right decision to put the country first by leaving the United Workers' Party to collaborate with the Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit-led government. While in Jamaica, Isaac also accompanied Prime Minister Skerrit to the 39th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Government of the CARICOM, where he met with other Caribbean leaders. Isaac explained that his nomination and designation to be on the council exhibits the confidence shown by his fellow regional ministers. With the 2018 hurricane season being projected to produce between 10 and 14 named storms, with up to 4 becoming major hurricanes of Category 3 or higher, Isaac revealed that work has commenced to ensure that the region will be better placed to prepare and respond in case of disaster. According to Isaac, open quote, "We have already approved a budget for CIDEMA to ensure that the agency can implement and execute its roles and responsibilities more effectively," end quote.
UNAIDS is issuing countries with a stark wake-up call.
In a new report launched this week in Paris at an event co-hosted with Coalition Plus, UNAIDS warned that the global response to HIV is currently at an unstable point. At the halfway point to the 2020 targets, the report Miles to Go, Closing Gaps, Breaking Barriers, Righting Injustices, warns that the pace of progress is not matching global ambition. It calls for immediate action to put the world on course to reach critical 2020 targets. It's estimated that 300,000 people are living with HIV in the Caribbean. The UNAIDS Executive Director said, "We are sounding the alarm. Entire regions are falling behind. The huge gains we made for children are not being sustained. Women are still most affected. Resources are still not matching political commitments, and key populations continue to be ignored."
A community leader of Taru and former councillor says the small West Coast village has been neglected. Patricia Hillier Adams has been a councillor on the Mahu Village Council for 15 years. Speaking at the launch of a West Coast solid waste management project, Adams said Taru has not gotten its fair chance for development.
Taru has been part of the Mahu Village Council, and I was part of that council for 15 years. But I left for younger minds to take over. But presently there is no one representing the community on the village council. And that I feel really bad about, because seeing that I tried to make way for others to be part of it, although some showed quite much interest, yet they were not given the opportunity to do that. But because of that, a few young women got together from the community and decided to form a group which would assist in taking care of business within that community. And they named themselves the Taru Positive Minds Development.
Adams said despite its small size, there is much opportunity for development in the community.
I see this project as a means of pushing the community on the map and also preparing it for the best village on island. Who knows, it may just become one of the nicest places to visit for the tourist. Taro has been neglected many times, and some persons don't even know where in Dominica that is, because we believe in keeping our community clean. We believe in development. We believe in one, do something, each one do something, and so the whole community and the country by extension will be greatly improved.
And the Joint Secretariat of the Interreg Caraïbe Program, in collaboration with the OECS Commission, hosted an informal stakeholder meeting in St. Lucia on Thursday.
The meeting was organized to provide insight into the Interreg Caraïbe program. Interreg is the European Regional Development Fund. This is in an effort to better enable project managers to access funding opportunities and engage in a program that fosters equitable and sustainable cooperation between the French West Indies and the Caribbean countries of the OECS. The Interreg Caraïbe program is led by the Regional Council of Guadeloupe as the managing authority. It's a European program for Guadeloupe, French Guiana, Martinique and St. Martin to undertake cooperation activities with their neighbors. The program has a budget of approximately 86 million euros to support projects that align with the program strategy and the needs of the territories. The budget includes 64 million euros under the European Regional Development Fund to support activities of European project holders and a delegate budget of approximately 2.9 million euros under the European Development Fund to support the activities of non-European project holders.
To end the news, the headlines again. Government commits to facilitating the resumption of operations at Ross University. Increased flights and visitors into Dominica with the introduction of Inter-Caribbean Airways. And Whitchurch IGA supermarket reopens in just under a year after Hurricane Maria. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Idona Jean-Baptiste. Thanks for watching. Have a good weekend.